Hello, everybody. We're here for an update on the Jeff Jarrett TNA situation. I called Jeff Lane literally 3 minutes ago. Nice enough to come on here. And he just asked me, what are we going to talk about? And, Jeff, what did I say?
Pretty much we're going to wing it.
Yeah, I don't – listen, Jeff, there are some things like I want to say, and I thought it would help like with you on here. Because, bro, like I'm beside myself in trying to figure this thing out, okay? First of all, Jeff, I got to say this. I was blown away by this. Last night, I watched True Detective. Did you watch it?
No, but I DVR'd episode 1 and 2.
Okay.
I planned on having it watched because, I didn't know we were going to do this today. So I planned on having it watched by the time we did the Raw podcast tomorrow in case you wanted to discuss it on there.
Okay, here's the interesting thing to me. You know, Jeff, I was watching True Detective yesterday, and after it was over, I jumped online, right? And I started discussing, like, what have been some of the coolest openings of television shows. Because, bro, HBO has had, like, some phenomenal openings, and True Detective is another great one. I think True Blood is, like, the all-time that open is tremendous. But it was a good one. So, bro, I throw out there to people, what do you think is some of the best opens? You know, we start chit-chatting, right? So, bro, like, then, like, we're getting, you know, we're talking. A lot of people are chiming in and saying everything. And, bro, meanwhile, I'm looking at the clock, and I swear, Jeff, I said to myself, isn't, like, Slammiversary happening right now, right? So, as I'm going back and forth with the people, I go to WrestleZone to see what's happening. And, you know, yes, Slammiversary is happening. They got the results. They got that Jeff Jarrett goes over in the King of the Mountain match. First of all, Jeff, number one, here's what blew me away. I'm on my Twitter account, and, I mean, Jeff, I think it's safe to assume that, bro, 95% of the people that follow me are wrestling fans. Is that safe to assume?
That's a pretty good gamble. I would say at least 90.
Okay, Jeff, Jarrett wins the King of the Ring match. We're on Twitter while it's happening. Not one person mentions Jarrett's win, Slammiversary. Bro, not one single person, which blew me away. Which, like, so, because I'm expecting, you know, we're playing this little game of the best show tunes, and I'm expecting, what did you think about Jarrett's win? Now, you know, I'm expecting that. Bro, not one person. What do you take from that?
Several things. One is, if someone could verify this for me, but everybody was saying online that it cost $50. I don't know if that's accurate. But people were tweeting that it was a $50 show. So if that is true, I just don't see a lot of people plopping $50 down to watch a pay-per-view, especially when the WWEs are $10. You know, I know that's a hard business model for TNA to compete with. They don't have the resources that WWE does, but if that is the correct price, I'm sure that affected it. Especially when, you know, there wasn't – that was it for the pay-per-view pretty much. The way that their tapings were scheduled with the pay-per-view yesterday, but they had already taped the shows that followed the days prior. There wasn't a lot that was going to happen on the pay-per-view. I would think people, assuming anyway, there wasn't going to be a lot that was going to happen, that was going to be must-see, that was going to be big. I think the entire pay-per-view was built around Jarrett in that match, and, you know, everybody and their mother knew he was going to win. So I think with the combination of the price and the fact that it wasn't a must-see show, I would assume that not many people cared about it.
Well, Jeff, I'm going to tell you this, bro, and I might have to whisper because my wife's in the house. First of all, like, Jeff, listen. You know I take everything you say as gospel. Bro, I can't believe that pay-per-view cost $50. So, like, I'm assuming, like, that's not even true. Like, there's no way that pay-per-view could have cost $50 because
and it might not be true. It might not be true. But that's what people were tweeting.
Can't be true. Absolutely cannot be true. Because, Jeff, there's one thing. Jeff, let me ask you this. What are you paying $50 for to watch on a pay-per-view? Give me. It could be anything where I'm gonna pay $50 to watch this.
Why? What would I pay for? Like if I'm personally paying $50?
Yes.
Well, when I used to buy pay-per-views, it was because I cared what was going to happen.
No, I'm not saying pay-per-view. I'm saying
right.
I'm not saying wrestling.
Anything in general?
Pay-per-view event. What would you pay $50 for?
Nothing. I don't like boxing. I don't like UFC.
It could be anything. It could be anything.
Well, not on pay-per-view. I mean, if I'm going to spend $50 on something, it would be a video game, and those are $60. If I'm going to pay $50 to watch a show, it's not happening. I mean, right now, nothing. There's nothing I would pay $50.
Bro, with the exception of Rihanna live in concert naked, bro, naked, like 2 hours naked. Like the only thing she changes is her shoes. With the exception, bro, $50 for a wrestling show. Okay, all right, let's get past that. Jeff, I swear, I'm watching this thing unfold. And Jeff, listen, I want to explain something. Jeff, can you first address, because I don't want it to wait. Can you just please first address the us hating wrestling fans? I'm gonna let you address that because that's so asinine that like I'm not even gonna comment on it. I'm gonna let you address it.
Okay, well, I did address that today on the site.
I read that
on Vince Russo brand. So if I don't know if I want to add much to that. I think it's just, at least from my perspective, it's just like why anybody would believe that or think that doesn't make any sense to me. I think it's pretty obvious, and there was plenty of viewers that saw this as obvious that we were talking about a specific small, but the vocal minority group of the wrestling fans that aren't there to have a intelligent debate or to, listen, Vince, I disagreed with this on Kevin Owens. This is why, back and forth. It's more like F you, screw you, you suck. I hope TNA goes out of business. There's so, and it's because it's not just with us, it's with everybody out there in wrestling. They all go through it. But that's the type of fan that we were clearly speaking about.
Well, let me give you a better definition, Jeff. Because I believe I used the name Nimrod. Okay.
Yes.
So let me again make people clearly understand. Here's a tweet from a Nimrod. Okay. There was literally a tweet from a Nimrod this weekend. Okay. And Jeff, seriously, think about the context of this. Okay. The tweet from the Nimrod was, I would donate all the money to charity if I could get that prick, Vince Russo, in an MMA cage. Now, bro, think about like the ridiculousness of like, I don't even know where to start with that comment, bro. That this guy is so riled up that he wants to get a 54-year-old man in an MMA cage, a prick, and beat the shit out of him because of his bad wrestling angles. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, that's a Nimrod. Jeff, can we get back to this Jeff Jarrett thing?
Yes. And while you were talking, I'm trying to verify this price, and I don't know if it's because it has already aired that I can't find it. But I've been trying to search here to confirm the price of the TNA pay-per-view, and I can't find it.
Jeff, I've come to watching this thing unfold, I've come to two conclusions, okay? And, bro, one of them puts TNA in almost a good light, and the other one not so good, okay? The way this thing is laid out, Jeff, if I'm reading correctly, Jeff Jarrett wins King of the Ring yesterday, okay? And, bro, listen, I'm not paying attention to spoiler alerts. If it happened, it's out there. So stop with the spot. This ain't 1962.
Well, it already aired. It already aired yesterday.
I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about something that's going to air on Impact. Okay?
All right. Well, there's your spoiler warning.
Spoiler alert. So turn it off. Okay. So Jeff, the way I'm reading this, he wins King of the Ring. Nothing. He's not seen on any other television show that they taped with the exception of them putting him in the TNA Hall of Fame. Okay, that's what I'm reading. So he's not on any other TV in the ring, in the arena, with the exception of they put him in the TNA Hall of Fame. So that okay, so there's one scenario, Jeff. Here's the one scenario. Can
you hear that?
What's that?
Okay, I found the price, but it was playing some Chevy ad, so I was hoping it didn't come through on the sound.
What's the price?
$39.95 on Flips. The Flips app. It says it was $39.95. So maybe if with taxes and stuff, that's where the 50 was coming from. But it's 40 flat fee on Flips. So,
bro, please. Okay, Jeff.
So back to the Hall of Fame.
So what happened in the arena? Now things could have been shot in Nashville. Things could have been shot at the office. We know all that, but it almost doesn't make sense if them putting him in the Hall of Fame is actually going to air on TV, unless that was to fool the people. Yeah, you understand what I'm saying, Jeff? Because if he won King of the Ring, and then the next time we see him, they're putting him in the Hall of Fame, then there was no heat angle in between. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know, there wasn't Jeff going to the office, or there was nothing like that. Unless now there is the possibility, bro, of them putting him in the Hall of Fame was like a dummy thing that's never going to air. But I can't believe, something of that kind of significance they just shot to swerve people. Right? Okay. Would you agree with that?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So Jeff, under those circumstances, he won the match. They put him in the Hall of Fame. Nothing else was shot. I would almost have to assume, bro, like they're really done. And it's over, and Dixie is just trying to do the right thing for Jeff Jarrett. That's almost what it looks like to me. Like, so that would have to be a scenario that it's over. It's done. They know they're off the air in September. Dixie wanted to make things right per Jeff Jarrett before TNA no longer exists. That's scenario number one. Would you agree?
I could definitely see that being taken from that.
Okay, now, scenario number two, Jeff, would be that he wins King of the Mountain. They have all this programming. Then he goes into the TNA Hall of Fame, right? Then the angle starts after that. Okay, now he won the match. Supposedly, bro, they had a whole King of the Mountain new belt made. So now he's got the King of the Mountain belt. So now the angle would start after that, right? Okay, bro. If that scenario is correct, then what jumps off at the page to me is, why in God's name would you waste all that time in between? If that's where you were going to go, why wouldn't it have been balls to the wall coming out on that first TV last Wednesday? Compared to, okay, we're going to waste all this time. We're going to put him in the TNA Hall of Fame. I keep saying WWE because TNA Hall of Fame is so illegit. It's ridiculous. But we're going to put him in the TNA. Then we're going to start the angle. But, so that screams to me, why would you waste so much time and just not be balls to the wall from square one? Am I missing anything, Jeff, outside of those two scenarios?
No, I think the second point there is, if that's the way they're going, which obviously we have no idea at this point. We can only see what they've taped in front of the crowd if you read the spoilers. But even if they are doing stuff like pre-tapes with Jeff out of the arena, nobody will see him until they air. And then the next set of tapings, they'll start doing the stuff with Jeff in the ring. What are we talking here? August, September? I mean, when will this stuff air? And by that point, is it too late? I mean, if the rumors are true, the deadline is in September, where Destination America makes their decision on TNA. Is this to me, in my opinion, if that's the route, it's too late. This was a huge angle that they could be doing this entire summer. But, with so many shows already taped, what did they tape? 3 the first. I don't know I didn't see the second night of tapings, but I'm guessing they've got at least 5 or 6 in the can.
Yeah.
So you're talking 5-6 weeks out. What are we getting ready to start July? So you're talking middle of August before any shows that haven't been taped start airing. There's no momentum for that. The momentum was last week. If they would have done this angle right, I think they didn't, give proper momentum to continue with this. If that's the route they're going with your second scenario, it's going to be too little too late.
Well, Jeff, here's the thing I want to throw out there, too, about this to you. Here's the thing. Jeff, I keep putting myself in the Booker seat because I was in the Booker seat, okay? Jeff, say that September deadline doesn't even exist. Say that's not true. Say it's a complete lie. Say they're going on for the second year on Destination America, and that's a complete lie. That's not even happening. So say we're looking at next September, okay? Bro, would you still be satisfied with an audience under 500,000 people? Or would you be going to the balls to the wall right now, even if you were guaranteed till next September? You're not like what? It's like what are we waiting for? Like I don't understand it. Like what are you waiting for? Even if there is no deadline. What are we waiting? What is this? The slow build? The slow build to what? Our own demise? And Jeff, let me ask you this too. Okay, bro? Again, putting myself in the Booker seat. Let's take scenario number 1. Let's say Destination America told them that they're done in September. So we're going to do right by Jeff Jarrett. Okay? If that were the case, like, bro, wouldn't you still go balls to the wall in hopes of a miracle? You know what I'm saying, Jeff? Wouldn't you still throw everything out there and like, oh my God, wait a minute. They did 600,000 people this week? Wait a minute. Maybe we need to rethink this. I mean, either way, my point is this. You had Jeff Jarrett on the show last Wednesday. I don't care whether the contract's up in September or year from. It doesn't matter. The fact that you're not going balls to the wall right now. I don't understand. Jeff, what are we waiting for?
Maybe they think they are, and maybe that's why the creative has been poor for the most part for the past, year. Maybe they think changing belts, changing title holders is going balls to the wall. I don't know. I know, from the conversation you had with Billy on here, he doesn't think that way. But it seemed like he didn't have a lot to do with the first set of shows that were taped. He was on tour. He wasn't able to get to the taping. I know he went to the second set. Maybe they just have a different take on what balls to the wall is, and that's what they think they're doing. I don't know. I don't have an explanation for it.
Because that's the thing. I want this to be clear to people. I want people to understand. Okay, it's not about September or next September or it's not about any of that. It's about if you're going to through everything that happened and through history, if you're going to make the decision to bring in Jeff Jarrett. Okay, first of all, bro. Let's look at another scenario, Jeff. Maybe Jarrett only agreed to do the King of the Mountain match and go into the Hall of Fame. Maybe that's all he agreed to. And guess what? If that's all he agreed to, then what did you use him for? You know what I'm saying? Obviously, if Jeff said, listen, I'll do the King of the Mountain match and I'll let you put me in the Hall of Fame. Obviously, Jeff's doing that to promote Global Force Wrestling. Why is TNA doing that? Like, if that's what's happening here, what does that give TNA? So you have to assume they're not that stupid. You got to assume they have Jeff Jarrett and they're going to do more with him. So what I'm trying to get across is if you have Jeff Jarrett and you had him as of last Wednesday, what the frig are you waiting for?
And I would think that Jarrett would, he's going to take the money and he's going to take the free advertisement. So I really don't think he would, in my opinion, he wouldn't say, I'm just doing this one thing and that's it. If he can get on there and constantly promote Global Force and earn a paycheck while doing it, I think he would. I think anybody would do it. You know what I mean? You're going to pay me to advertise my new company. Great. Let's do it every week. But I just, I don't know if there's something we just don't know. If, like you said, the first scenario, the writing's on the wall, Dixie knows something she's not saying. She wants to do the right thing by Jeff, and that's what we're getting. To me, that's logical from the creative standpoint. Because if that's not the case, then what are they doing? What's the hook here? How is this whole thing benefit TNA? I don't see it.
Yeah, and Jeff, that's the whole thing. This is like, and the only reason why I'm curious about this, honestly, like this is not must-see TV. There's nothing here that's going to make me watch the show Wednesday to see what happens, because there was no cliffhanger with Jeff. He came out and said, I'm going to be on Slammiversary. That's it. He never said, I'm going to win the belt and show up here next Wednesday and things are going to, there was no cliffhanger. So like my curiosity is not a curiosity that makes me want to watch the show. My curiosity is the curiosity of like, bro, like how stupid are you people? Like either we've totally given up, or we're going to hold off this angle for the next 6 weeks. Like that's where my morbid curiosity is. Under the circumstances, they've still given me no reason to watch the show. I don't know, bro. It's wild, man. It's just, it's beyond me, bro, because none of it makes any sense. Not that I should think that TNA is going to make any sense, but I mean, it's just like, none of it absolutely makes any sense to me.
And you would think no matter how we disagree with their creative direction or their creative philosophy, there's no way that Dixie Carter is sitting there hoping that her company goes out of business. I mean, there's no way. She wants to do what she thinks is right to make this company stay in business and succeed. So I wonder if it's a matter of maybe she's finally saying, okay, this is going to do it. Or if people are still telling her this is the right direction, people are going to catch on, and she's buying that. I don't know. It's very interesting, but I don't think if Dixie Carter believes that there's still a chance for this company to survive, don't you think she in her mind she's going to do whatever it takes to make sure it succeeds?
Well, yeah, Jeff, and which leads us to another question. Everything you're reading about all these people leaving TNA. Now, here's the thing, bro. Listen to me. If this is part of the angle, like that's all well and good, but until that plays out, the perception and the PR is these people are really leaving your company. So again, bro, you didn't see anything play out on TV. Like the TV's been shot already. So if we're planting the seed now and saying, okay, these people are leaving the company, and then these people are going to join GFW, 6 weeks from now, well, bro, you got 6 weeks of believing that those people left the company. I can't understand how, you would sit around a table and discuss this, and that would be a good strategy, No,
not at all, especially running it through dirt sheets. If that's the angle, let's make them think we release these people. We're not going to put it on our TV program. We'll just let people read it from, dirt sheets. That never works. And two of them, I haven't heard anything on the James Storm and the Magnus, but Taryn Terrell and Kong have both denied it. They said they're not going anywhere. The rumor's BS. So who knows if that's even true for everybody. But if that's an angle, it's a very poor strategy because it's not going to catch on running some phony releases through dirt sheets. It's not going to raise your TV ratings.
Well, Jeff, that's it. I want to discuss. I was talking to Mark at the Realm Network, and bro, we do like so much programming and stuff like this and everything, and then stuff like this comes up, and stuff like this came up last week. I was almost talking to Mark about the idea of, listen, bro, why don't you and I just do a show every day?
Right.
You know what I'm saying, bro? Why don't we do a little talk show every day? Maybe a couple of hours every day. Bring guests on this show. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and all that, like almost like a regular radio format. And I don't know how the brand would feel about that, Jeff, to be honest with you. So I'm just throwing it out there. If people want to comment on that, please let us know. Just kind of combining everything, Jeff, and making it a regular radio show Monday through Friday, because, every day there's going to be something to talk about. And if there's not something to talk about in wrestling, we'll certainly find something to talk about in the world of entertainment. What do you think about something like that?
Yeah, man, I'm cool with it. If that's what the brand wants, obviously if that's it's up to them. If they want to listen to that every day, we could do it. I have no doubt. I don't remember what show we discussed it last week. I was joking that we could probably do a 5 a.m. to 11 a.m. morning radio show like people do in the commutes. I know we could pull that off. So, Brand, if you would listen to that and you want that, let us know, man. Hit us up on Twitter, Vince. Get the feedback on Twitter or what?
Yeah, no, get the feedback on Twitter. Let us know. Let us know if it's something that you'd be interested in, because like Jeff said, we're ready, willing, and able to try whatever it is that you'll be most entertained by.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. If you want to listen to it, we'll do it. If you guys are like, we don't want to listen to you guys every day, the few times a week is enough. Hey, okay, that's fine. But let us know either way so we know.
Yeah. Well, Jeff, thanks for joining me today with this news. I guess we'll keep an eye on it, see what's happening, and I guess we will be back here tomorrow with Raw the day after. A lot of people, bro, I'm getting a lot of requests now about this Mystery Science Theater gimmick, and like my first thought is, listen, let's be realistic here. I cannot sit through 3 hours of Raw and comment. I mean, let's be honest about that. So, it like literally, we'd have to do an hour. Because I can't do, more than that. But, another thing, kicking that around, let's get the feedback from the brand. Let's see what they want, and their wishes are command, right?
Right. And I was thinking the same thing and I'm not trying to insult anybody, but like, what are we going to say, like during an 18-minute Sheamus Roman Reigns match? What do people really want to listen to us not really say much for 18 minutes? Because that's what it would pretty much be. I don't know what, honestly, we could say for 18 minutes during a match like that. I mean, the concept is very cool. If there was a way to do highlights, and package, but, obviously we're not allowed to use
Jeff,
the footage.
I'll tell you exactly what I would do. If it got into an 18-minute match between Sheamus and Roman Reigns, exactly what I would do is change the channel and comment on what I'm going to and why. I'm serious. That's what I would do. And I would come back. Match ain't over yet. Let's go. Yeah. I mean, that's what I would do, but who knows? Hey, we're willing to try new things, see what happens.
That's right.
But Jeff, thanks for joining me. A last minute couple things I wanted to get out. This is going to be free to everybody today. If you want to check out everything that Jeff and I do, go to vincerussobrand.com. You'll see it all laid out. Thank you, Jeff Lane. Everybody else, catch you on the rebound tomorrow.